guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And a journalist from Argentina is reporting that Brighton has given the green light for Alexis McAllister's exit. They have been, contemplating whether to sell McAllister or not, but McAllister clearly indicated to Brighton that he wants to leave the club. So Brighton will listen to offers for McAllister. That has been confirmed by a journalist called German Gracia Grova, and Brighton will sit down to negotiate for the midfielder's exit after the season is finished on the 28th of May. And the expected transfer fee will start from £70 million. And the journalist also confirmed that Liverpool are best positioned to sign him. And yes, 70 million might sound a lot, but I think it will come with a 50 million base fee paid in installments in 2 or 3 years, plus 15 to 20 million in bonuses, or we could give a 55 million pound base fee plus another 15-20 million in bonuses, and that way the deal is structured so we don't have to pay like 50 million straight away, but we can pay it in installments, and the rest of the bonuses will be triggered throughout his 5-year contract. And also in today's transfer market, with the inflation being so high and every season, the transfer fees are getting crazier and crazier, and Chelsea spending 600 million pounds in 2 transfer windows will further inflate the prices. And how this fee comes about is Alexis McAllister is already a very good player. You could argue he became world class this season, plus he's a World Cup winner, so the hype around him is very big, plus he's Premier League proven already, plus he's going to a big team like Liverpool, which further inflates his price, plus there are a lot of clubs interested in him, so that further elevates the price. And Brighton are not stupid, they are very smart, so they know that right now they can get the most money for Alexis McAllister, so that's why they are selling him right now. Plus Alexis McAllister also wants to move to a club who can challenge for trophies and try titles. No disrespect to Brighton, but they are having their best season probably in their history, and I'm not sure if they can be a regular top 4 team. And I mean, Liverpool are not just a regular top 4 team in the past 5 or 6 years. We have been to 3 Champions League finals. So any team, any player who is thinking about joining Liverpool, you are not joining for just, next season, where Liverpool might play in the Europa League. Today's games, by the way, are huge. Leeds United host Newcastle, and I hope Leeds can get something from that game. If Newcastle drop further points, that opens the door just a little bit more for Liverpool's top 4 finish. But the players choose Liverpool because they see a very stable project, and they see a club who have been an ever-present in the Champions League, bar this one blip of a season where a lot of things, a lot of factors coincided with Liverpool's drop off. And I think this last like 8 or 9 games have been very, very promising for Liverpool, and hopefully that translates to a more consistent and better season next season. But we also need players like Alexis McAllister if we want to achieve the Champions League place next season. It's absolutely vital that Liverpool don't miss out on the Champions League 2 seasons in a row. So the owners, FSG, have to spend big this summer. Otherwise, they will be very, very harshly criticized, and rightfully so, by the Liverpool fan base. So guys, what do you think about this news? Let me know in the comments below, and leave a like on this video if you enjoyed this, and also listen to this video in full because we will preview the Leicester City Liverpool game. Jurgen Klopp had some very interesting things to say about that, and also we will go into more detail on what this report says. And even Alexis McAllister's father, Carlos McAllister, expects his son to move on from Brighton this summer. He said normally the next transfer window will find him playing in another club. We don't know which one. The talks are just beginning in January, but it is most likely that Alexis will already be playing in another team this July. And multiple journalists who are Liverpool based and who have good connections with the club, like James Pierce, Neil Jones, they confirmed that Liverpool hold the strongest interest in Alexis McAllister, And Jurgen Klopp is believed to have already held a direct meeting with Alexis McAllister's representatives and the player recently, and you would expect that McAllister is excited about the prospect of joining Liverpool, one of the biggest clubs in the world still. And so far McAllister has his best season at Brighton, 12 goals and 2 assists in 35 appearances across all competitions, and of course he famously helped Argentina win their first World Cup for like more than 30 years, sorry. His energy and dynamism in the middle of the park is exactly what Jurgen Klopp's side have lacked this season, and also his goal scoring ability is something that Liverpool really need, in my opinion. And he has almost 100 Premier League appearances already, and he's 24 years old, so he's entering the peak years of his career. That's why this 75 million transfer fee is not actually too much money for Alexis McAllister, in my opinion. And Ben Jacobs said that Alexis McAllister is pushing to leave Brighton. He really wants to join a bigger club, and he said that Alexis McAllister is the one that really pushing and trying for the early move. If Brighton make European football, they are not going to want an exodus, and they only sell on their terms. That doesn't mean that McAllister or Caicedo won't be sold, but if McAllister goes early, we have to wait and see what Brighton do. They are going to want a replacement, and that may delay Moises Caicedo leaving Brighton later into the window, or it might make Brighton a bit more bullish. Nothing has changed with Caicedo. Just because he has signed a new deal, he still appreciates that big clubs want him, and Brighton know that, but they are not going to sell McAllister day one of the window and sell Caicedo the same day or the next day, because then they would be, you know, in trouble. What usually Brighton does or do is that they sell a big player and then they sign a replacement, and then if they want they can sell another big player, but then they sign another replacement, and then they sign another young promising player. That's how Brighton's recruitment team have been working recently. What is key is that Liverpool get this deal done as soon as Brighton start the negotiations. So after the season is finished, hopefully Liverpool can fresh out the deal very soon. I think there will be already an agreement in place with McAllister regarding his contract, his salary, how long the contract is, and then we just have to negotiate with Brighton, which will be, I think, the tougher part of the deal, because I don't think it would be too hard to agree a deal with McAllister. I think even if we double his wages, what he earns at Brighton, it would still fall into the middle of the Liverpool's wage structure. Alexis McAllister's contract runs until 2025, so he still has another 2 years left on his contract. So as I said, this is the perfect time for Brightons to sell McAllister. If they wait one more season, the World Cup hype will be gone. Maybe McAllister doesn't have as good a season next season. Maybe Brighton don't have as good a season next season, and also he will have 1 year left on his contract, so they would lose potentially 20-30 million pounds if they sell next summer. This summer they can get 70, 75, 80 million, and that's huge amount of money for even a club like Brighton, who are, you know, in the Premier League, so they are earning already a lot of money. But getting 75, 80 million for a player, that would be a record for Brighton. And one Liverpool fan actually in the Liverpool forums, Liverpool subreddit, said that Alexis McAllister is like a young Gundogan, and that reminded me of Liverpool should have signed Gundogan when he left Dortmund and went to Man City. And apparently Jurgen Klopp wanted Gundogan, but he chose Manchester City, and how many goals he scored that hurt Liverpool. Like last season, Gundogan's goal won Man City the title, which was really painful. But as I said, this Alexis McAllister is the next best thing. He's, I think, even younger than when Gundogan left Dortmund and went to Manchester City, and hopefully he will turn out up to be as good a player as Gundogan has been for Manchester City. He scored so many big goals for them. Hopefully Alexis McAllister will score so many big goals for Liverpool in the next like 5 years. And if you were wondering what kind of mentality, what kind of nerves Alexis McAllister has, he scored a 96th minute winning penalty against Manchester United when Brighton were, you know, already playing better than Man United in the second half, but that was a huge moment. And Alexis McAllister must have been very nervous. He even admitted in the post-match interview that he was nervous, but he had nerves of steel. He scored a big penalty, and that shows that he has character, he has leadership qualities, he has nerves of steel. And also scoring a last-minute penalty winner against Man United, already he has done a favour for the Liverpool fans. And if you think £70 million is too much for Alexis McAllister, I hear you, I understand your argument, but just consider this. Naby Keita, who was one of the most hyped up midfielders in the Bundesliga, not in the Premier League, he went for 50 million in 2018, so 5 years ago. That would be 70 million now, or 75 million in today's market. And Alexis McAllister is already Premier League proven, plus he also won the World Cup, so you can't expect you to get him for like 40 or 50 million, even though that's what he might be worth. But you know how the transfer market works. Any player is worth the amount that one club is willing to pay for him. That's the sad reality. So Liverpool have to live with that, and we have to pay up this money, because otherwise we won't be able to sign basically our first choice targets. And Neil Jones is reporting that Alexis McAllister, Mason Mount and Ryan Gravenberch are very much on the transfer list and on the agenda at Liverpool, but Manuel Ugarte is not understood to be, despite various reports. And now that is very, very surprising and very disappointing for me, because Manuel Ugarte is a lot cheaper than somebody like Declan Rice. And yes, Gravenberch would be brilliant, but can he play defensive midfield as well as Manuel Ugarte? I'm not sure. But if we can get Gravenberch for like 30-35 million, maybe I'm a little bit skeptical, but that would be as good a deal as getting Ugarte for like 40 million. But we have to sign 3 midfielders. 2 midfielders is not enough in my opinion. And basically what Neil Jones is saying, that his sources at Liverpool told him that Manuel Ugarte is not on the transfer list at Liverpool. And if that's the case, we will regret that as much as Liverpool are regretting not signing Bruno Guimaraes when he went to Newcastle from, I think he went from Lyon to Newcastle. And 1 year after, you know, Liverpool are big fans of Bruno Guimaraes and they would love to sign him. Why didn't we sign him when he went, before he went to Newcastle? You absolute morons. The Liverpool recruitment team should really take a leaf out of the books of, you know, Newcastle's recruitment, Brighton's recruitment, Dortmund's recruitment. Look at what kind of players they are signing, and they are turning into superstars. Liverpool have to get back to this, otherwise we will fall behind. And if we miss out on the Champions League 2 seasons in a row, that will really hit hard. Not just for potential players that want to come to Liverpool, they will be worried that Liverpool are not a regular Champions League club anymore, but also our revenues will be hit very much. So that's my opinion. The owners have to spend money. FSG, pick your wallet out of your pocket and open it, because Jurgen Klopp deserves your support 100%. Thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.